reporter Lois Lane starts off on her vacation.
She often catches a lift to the airport from her friend, boy reporter Clark Kent.
Where are you going, Lois?
I really don't know, Clark. Just anywhere where there's no excitement. Clark, who's that man?
Name's Vamor, a close friend of the scientist who was sent to jail for embezzling funds.
Oh, yes, Professor Dujy. Didn't he break jail when Governor Bannard refused his request for a pardon?
Right, and hasn't been seen since.
Holding fast to her plan about going where there's no excitement, Lois heads inside and buys a ticket to wherever that guy is going. In the pre-9/11 world, you could do that. Today, as we know, you not only have to tell TSA where you're going 6 months in advance, you have to write a 5,000-word essay explaining why and have a note from your mother saying it's okay for you to go there. No note, no ticket. It's for your own protection.
Days later, a 10-foot ball of white-hot metal rips down out of the clouds at daybreak and smashes into the dome of the state capitol building in Metropolis.
To everyone's surprise, Lois was inside it. She reported that Professor Dujy has discovered an amazing new mode of transportation.
This appears to be solid iron, Governor.
A perfectly round meteorite.
This is not a meteorite. It's a man-made sphere which was somehow dropped to Earth from space.
Mighty curious.
Check the backs of some milk cartons, see if anybody reported the missing wrecking ball.
Another ball of iron heading this way. Excuse me, gentlemen. Forgot my camera. This is a job for Superman.
Now Governor Bannard and Inspector Henderson are unaware that another globe of iron is falling directly toward them. Great balls of fire!
You broke my will, but what a thrill! Goodness gracious, great balls of fire!
Superman needs to find out where these are coming from, not to mention why.
To Governor Bannard, with my compliments, Dujy.
That answers the why. Lois told us the governor denied Dujy release and thus he escaped with a bit of a grudge. Superman will retrace the ball's trajectory back into space and find out where these things are coming from. Meanwhile, somewhere in the South Pacific...
Dujy? Never heard the name, lady.
Ever hear of a man called Vamor?
Vamor? Oh, yeah. Man named Vamor bought a motorboat from me a couple of days ago to visit the outer islands, he said.
Mister, I want to rent a sailboat. I'm going to visit the outer islands, too.
After Lois brought the boat back upside down, the old boy learned to ask a simple question before renting another one. Do you know how to work a sailboat? Out in space, Superman didn't find a spaceship, but he did find a small asteroid.
No sign of life. Wait, that crater looks freshly made. This could have been caused by a meteor.
As he examines the crater, the Man of Steel is unaware that another iron sphere is speaking toward him through the silence of space.
It didn't hurt him, it just knocked him off his feet, and he'll go chase after the ball to keep it from slamming into Earth.
So that's it. Dujy is bouncing these balls off this asteroid at an angle that sends them to Metropolis. Well, I'll just follow that trajectory in reverse.
In high school, Clark always got top grades in trigonometry, not to mention asteroidonometry.
Great Scott, what's that? An underground installation with a gun big enough to fire a 10-foot sphere.
As well as powerful enough to propel them at escape velocity, but only until they hit the asteroid, and then it becomes re-entry velocity, and we believe every word, don't we, friends? Dujy has this thing set up like a tennis ball cannon.
Professor Dujy, look, it's Superman heading toward us.
My, he's quite a globetrotter. So we'll toss a few globes out at him.
Hold on, that's interesting. He has a rifled barrel. Those markings inside are grooves that put a bit of spin on the projectile, which helps stabilize it in flight. It works better with a bullet-shaped bullet, and one of the most useful things about it is it leaves distinctive markings on the projectile. That's how ballistics identifies what gun a bullet came from. But there aren't any markings on these spheres. That usually happens when the projectile has a significantly smaller diameter than the barrel. Or to put it another way, no markings means his balls are too small.
Sorry, Professor. Your little game of space billiards is over.
Stop at once, or I'll destroy the native chief and his family.
Those cages are wired and he can electrocute them with a flip of that switch. Superman has no choice.
You load a spear into my cannon.
But I broke the track.
Ha! You don't need a track. Do it quickly, or I'll pull the switch.
You win again.
Cleverly, the Man of Steel raises the gun barrel almost imperceptibly.
With Superman as his new autoloader, Dujy starts shooting his balls again, but now they're off course enough that they're missing the asteroid and sailing off into open space.
The spheres are missing the asteroid, Dujy. Something's wrong.
No! Superman tilted the gun barrel. Now your little double cross will cost the life of the native chief.
Don't. I'll correct the aim of the gun.
Yes, but first, I shall destroy the chief.
Wait.
Vindictive much? Superman has to figure out how to save the chief before Dujy pulls that lever. One thing that's been consistent in this series is the lack of Superman's super speed. But his ability to move at blinding speed has been a staple since very early in his history. I remember a comic in which Superman and the Flash had a race around the world, and who won depended on what angle you watched it from. Since canonically he's just as fast as the Flash, he should be able to get the Chief and company out of those cages before Dujy's eyes could even register it. But super speed hasn't been on the menu. The only reason I can think of is it might make resolving some of these stories too easy, like this one. Our cliffhanger leaves the Chief and his family in peril, Dujy about to flip the switch, Superman unsure what to do, and Lois out there on the ocean somewhere trying to figure out how you do this sailing stuff while she watches iron spheres go flying past her. And if you think that's an easy sentence to say, you're sorely mistaken. We'll see how it all comes together next time. Until then. Hey friends, if you enjoyed the video, please click the thumbs up button and let me and YouTube know it. If you're not subscribed yet, you know what to do. And remember, you can become a patron of this channel for as little as $2 a month. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Betty reported a missing good grief. A grudge. Okay, come on. Has to figure out how to get his voice to behave. Figure out how do you do this. How you do this sailing stuff. Well, yeah. Okay. And that proves it's not an easy sentence.